From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Hurts sets up to throw it. Throw right side complete to Carter. 7 yards there and a first down. The Eagles had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7. Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles first down as he'll get this to the 44-yard line.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early in the game.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Hurts going to keep it running right, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Throwing is Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Another completion right there. And again, Charles, good time in the pocket. That offensive line on this opening drive been really solid.
They've been more than solid. They've really tamped down the pass rush and kept him safe in the pocket, able to look around, find his target, and deliver. He's got to make sure he tells the offensive line in the huddle, thanks, fellas. Let's keep it going.
A run for the former Seahawk. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Rashad Penny, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles will claim the
first here tonight. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-0. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. You look at this Eagle defense. And they've been excellent against the pass. The number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plans to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. The offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. That's down the field for Jefferson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
We're seeing here in this game early. Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right at the 35. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Losers in the season opener on Sunday, they get that quick turnaround 96 hours later. Here we go. They're back at it. And I've got to think, especially early in the year, that's a good thing for these guys, is it not?
It absolutely is. And we've seen it many times demonstrated over the years. Teams have a rough opening game, have to play the Thursday game. That quick turnaround allows them to go ahead and throw the other game out, focus on the new one, and typically they play much better in game 2. So I would agree with you totally on that.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's Hurts to throw. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now back to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you...
Madison hit, and the ball pops free.
And it's picked up by the Eagles, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close, and it's not something they even imagine, because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning. They got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. Oh, that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Second down and 12 at the 19-yard line. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Here's 3rd and 7.
Looking to throw. Flushed out right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
$10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll go Madison up the middle. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. Touchdown, Philadelphia! DeAndre Swift, 46 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because You're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things right, you get an extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A nice looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he's going to be wrangled down quickly after the catch up at the 45-yard line. So a pretty nice throw right there from the rookie. And this, of course, is game number 2 of his NFL career. His guys did not get the win, Charles, in the opener. But what did you see from him last week?
Well, I think all things considered, he played pretty well, and I don't think I'd pin the loss on him. But there's no question, this is a learning process, and that was step 1, and he's hoping on the road to glory.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They're going to look to throw. His throw incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Second and 10. On the handoff, it's Madison. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. We talked about the field, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 9. They'll set up to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Josh rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Penny on the counter, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On fourth down, Aaron Sipos on to punt for Philadelphia. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a give to Madison. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
That's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll set up a throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll look to throw. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll drop to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Motion left, Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. Down the left sideline. Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, 67 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they end up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite side.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
So after the run for a yard, here comes 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's a give to Madison running right. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, but I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On the toss, Madison. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Successful toss play to the right there. It's interesting. Teams seem to run the toss a lot more to the right than to the left.
It's usually a little more natural. Right-handed quarterback, typically your power side running the ball is to the right side with your guard and your tackle. In college football, they used to call it student body right because you had everyone on that side, including a fullback leading. In the pros, they don't call it that, but it's still the same result.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier. They couldn't reel that one in.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here.
And this incomplete. Oh, my. Nearly picked, but instead, it'll bring up 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And that brings up 3rd down. We saw this in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Take it at the 37. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. They run with a man from La Tech. It's Boston Scott. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. This to Arnold on the short pass. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Completion was given up, and that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Third and 5. Throwing is Hurts. And he is caught. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
One more time.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Swift.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. But 22 is the line to gain here on third down.
Here's Hurts to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into fourth down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
He made his first attempt, this from 45. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 9.
On play action, they'll throw.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked up by James Bradbury.
Inside the 10.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
And
Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. This company is able to play. I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25.
Yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Running from the shotgun with Madison. Down to the 42, second down. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 22-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now back to throw. This is caught by Addison. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Looking to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but there he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there, and there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency. Because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Swift going to try up the middle. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
This is 2nd and 8. Play action. Here's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That his first catch so far. They held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
And they're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. On the carry, this is Scott. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Now a 2nd and 6. And they'll give to Scott here on the option.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
Hurts.
And that will be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
A 55-yard attempt.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll set up to throw. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll set up a throw.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down and 6 now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
It's Sidney Brown with it. And the Eagles will take over possession here up at the 44.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 9.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Penny up the middle. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Down at the 25.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. the things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
2nd and 6. Now Scott. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Carter. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And that is no good. And the lead will remain at 23. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 5th quarter play. Here now a 3rd and 20. They'll drop to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball.
These guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Great, set. Keep it together, offense. Keep it together. Your game to win, offense.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Great, set.
So fly, Eagles fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for the Eagles, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.